It's funny to think that Aaron Greenberg took to Twitter just a few days before the Game Awards and told Xbox fans to dial their expectations way down. And as we know now, this was obviously a bit of trickery by Greenberg because Xbox had an absolute knockout showing at the Game Awards this past week. They showed some things that we already expected, some things that were rumored, and some things that were absolutely unexpected. And in this video, I'll be diving into the details we've got from Xbox during this year's Game Awards. So let's get started. First up, I think I'm going to start with a heavy hitter that most of us are probably most excited for, and that's the announcement of the Initiative's new game. A reboot and reimagining of Perfect Dark. And I can't even begin to express how hyped I am for this game. The Initiative has been busy over the past few years acquiring some of the best talent the industry has to offer, with recruits from studios like Naughty Dog, Sony Santa Monica, EA Dice, Insomniac, Bungie, Crystal Dynamics, and many, many more. And I think a lot of people were expecting this to be a third-person action game, but it seems that they're going the route of being an FPS. But not just any ordinary FPS, a sci-fi FPS with absolutely mind-boggling animation. They're saying they want the game to feel like you're really Joanna Dark. They want the movement to be as if you're a GoPro on the character's head. And this is something that I feel like FPS games don't really do a great job of. I mean, in recent years we've seen games get far more visceral and physical in the FPS genre, but the Initiative seems to have their eyes set for a much higher standard. And that's exactly what I want to hear. It sounds like it's going to be an amazing game with a really interesting backdrop for the story. Set in a future where corporations have taken control to restore some order after some sort of ecological disaster. But right now, that's all we know about this game, and I'm stoked to get more information on it in the coming months and years. Up next, I want to talk about another pretty big surprise for Xbox during the show, and that was the announcement of Ark 2. And I'm not so stunned or shocked by the fact that they announced Ark 2, but what's shocking is that the trailer stars Vin Diesel. Like, Vin Diesel's going to be in Ark 2. He's going to be a character in Ark 2.
So?
And I'm kind of puzzled by this. But the more I watched it, the more intrigued I got. It was a really cool trailer and it definitely got my attention, but probably the thing that surprised me most was the fact that it is to be a console exclusive for Xbox Series S and Xbox Series X. It looks intriguing and I'm definitely hoping it's a big step up from the original Ark Survival Evolved because I was definitely not a big fan of that game. But if there's actually real characters in this game, then I would assume that maybe there's some sort of a single player mode with a story. Either way, I'll definitely be giving it a go since it will likely be in Game Pass day and date. And they also announced that Microsoft Flight Simulator is coming to Xbox next summer. And from the footage we've seen, it looks super impressive. And I actually had way more fun with that game than I thought I would on PC, so I'm definitely looking forward to a console release. And I think one of the coolest games that was shown during the Game Awards was Warhammer 40,000 Dark Tide. Everything from the gunplay to the melee combat, it looks like it's going to be a fun game to play with your friends. And the cherry on top is that it's an Xbox console exclusive on the Series X and Series S. And then finally, we've got some new content for one of my favorite games going right now, and that's Forza Horizon 4. They just announced the new Cyberpunk and Forza crossover with a new in-game vehicle, the Quadro Turbo R. And this thing looks badass, and it drives like a monster. Plus, I'm always down for new Forza Horizon 4 content, since I play that game nearly every day. All in all, I think it was a great showing for Xbox. They answered the question of what is the Initiative working on, and they made some solid announcements for games coming exclusively to Xbox. That being said, Xbox is obviously nowhere near finished announcing things. We've still yet to hear what the folks over at Compulsion are working on for their next project, as well as updates from the newly acquired Bethesda studios. So it would seem there will be plenty more announcements coming down the pipeline throughout 2021 for Xbox, and I'm genuinely happy about that. But what do you guys think? What are your opinions on Xbox's showing at the Game Awards, and what's your most anticipated Xbox game that has been announced so far? Leave a comment below and let me know what you think. Leave a like if you liked the video, and please subscribe if you would be so kind. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.